Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
What's happening?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Tuesdays, you got CTE with Chris Los and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on all of our social media back. Oh my goodness, I'm messing it up today. All our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it is showtime. What is going on?
Typical week. I had my daughter's birthday last week, and my middle daughter, her birthday was this week, yesterday actually. So, so she officially turned 13. So I now have two teenage girls in my household.
Oh boy,
yeah, and one getting ready to start driving. So,
well, this should be
welcome to it.
This should be an interesting time for you, man.
Yeah, let's add a few more grays, right?
You'll be lucky if you get to keep your hair, man. You might lose it.
It's possible. It's all right.
Hey, listen, man. It all relies on your boy now. He's got to save the day.
Why do you say that?
Because he just has to keep it. If he knows like all his sisters are being annoying, he can't go and follow suit. He needs to like.
Oh no! He annoys the crap out of both of them.
Oh well, then he's doing his job
and still save some for Mom and I. So yeah, he's a terror, but he's fun. He keeps it real.
How was work, man? How was work this weekend?
Work was kind of slow. I had one busy day, and it was a day that's normally slow. It was kind of weird. So it's a little up and down right now. They took one of our whole machine areas out because they don't need it no more, and they're bringing something else in. So there's some construction going on, and some I don't know. They're talking about rebidding some jobs or just waiting until the new stuff comes in. So we'll see what happens. But for right now, it's a little up and down, but it usually starts to pick up. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. What's up, Angel? What's going on, man?
No, man. Just chilling, bro. Tired. Still recovering from this weekend. It's just a long weekend, man.
Okay. This was your second time at the AKA, right?
Yeah, my second time.
Anything different from last year? Like last year was your first time. I think we were talking about that on the podcast last year.
Yeah. It was completely different, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, everything was just different, bro. It was everything. I mean, I tell you what, the one thing I hated the most, I'm sure Travis will agree, was just fighting so late at night on a Friday. Like, when I tell you it was so hard to keep my body was shutting down, like, as I fought, just because of, like, I'm already on, like, a time zone difference. And then the time we were fighting in Chicago, it was so much later than where I am, like, where I live. So that was annoying, man.
Was it team fights you were doing?
No, it was open weight. Team fights Team fights we did at, like, let's say, like, 6 or 7, around there, maybe, like, 8. Which that's fine. Like, that's like I usually train or I'm at the gym or I'm working out around 9 o'clock, right? But we didn't do. I was fighting open weight at 11:30 at night.
Dang.
In Chicago.
Oh, so that's Central Time. So that was really 12:30.
That was 12:30
to your body.
Yeah. So I remember my last fight. It was midnight on my last fight, and I remember I looked and I said, like, "Yo, like, who the hell is like? I'm not even training at 1 a.m. Like, I'm sleeping." Like, and I felt like I would blitz fast, cool, and then I get back to the line. My body would like it's almost like I had to like restart a car and like try to get myself worked up to do it again. That was just annoying, man. That part sucked. But besides that, overall, man, the tournament was good.
When did you get out there? Did you get out there?
I got out there
on Thursday or Friday?
I got out there Thursday. Thursday?
Okay.
Yeah, I got out there Thursday and then left Sunday.
How many fights did you have?
All together?
Yeah, for the whole weekend. I mean,
I think I had like 9 or 10, something like that.
Okay.
And I won 7. So.
Okay.
Not bad.
All right. Did you place in any of the divisions?
Yeah. So it's actually funny. So like this happens all the time, right? For open weight. So for teams, we got third. If we would have won, we would have got to the final match. Then for open weight, so they split our bracket up. So we had like Pool A and Pool B pretty much, and then the winners of each one would fight each other for the overall. And I got to the quarterfinals of my bracket. So if I would have won, I think I would have one more fight, and then I would have fought Avery for the title. And then for my division, I got third.
Okay.
Yeah, but in open weight, there was like 40 people, 35, 40 people.
Mm.
Wow. It's a lot of fights, man.
Did you do any judging on Saturday?
Absolutely not. What is wrong with you?
You know what? The reason I asked that, I never hear you complain about judging. So that's what made me wonder. If
you never hear me complain about judging?
No, about you actually doing the judging, not about somebody else, doing bad judging. I'm talking about you actually out there doing the judging. I never heard you say like, I don't want to judge or I don't feel like judging. So
no, listen, bro. To be real with you, like I can't judge. One, because I have a teammate in almost every ring possible in the world, and then two, I can't judge also because like just when my teammates are going, like I'm like coaching and I'm like literally running from like ring to ring to ring to ring. Like I really like could not stay in a ring and judge. Like it's impossible.
Yeah, you're lucky Richard Plowden wasn't your coach or your sensei to be screaming at you from across the gymnasium to come over to a ring and then judge, because that is definitely what has happened to me
all the time.
Yeah.
Still.
Yes.
You think you're hiding. You think you're hiding. He'll see you. Or he'll just get on the mic and make an announcement.
I was gonna say, he don't need to see you. He don't even need to see you. He just gonna call your name out.
Now, see, I don't like. This is my thing. I'll tell you what. I don't mind judging when I'm at a tournament and I'm not fighting, right? And I'll be honest with you. The reason why is because I'm the worst spectator, so I need to compete and I need to feel like I'm in the action somehow, some way. So I'll judge in those moments. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, man. I'm not. I like judging. Like I like judging when I have good people I'm judging with, right? It's like if we're running a fighting ring. And like, if I have like other fighters, like other good fighters that like know what they're doing, like that's cool, man. Like when you judge with that, that's good. Like your ring will run smooth. Like you barely have any issues. You're calling it straight. So like that stuff's not bad.
Yeah, I tell you, man. The last few tournaments, because I take like what you just said. If I don't have any students going, and if I go to a tournament, I have no problem judging.
Yeah,
because I'm there. I have no problem. But when I have my students there, especially the students that are new to the tournament scene, like I want to be available for them to help them, tell them where to go, tell them where to stand. I had one kid last year or 2 years ago who missed his whole division because he was cheering for one of his teammates, one of my students. I was like, man, you got to stay at your ring. You can't come over here. So then I had to put him in another division. Luckily they allowed it, but yeah, man.
Listen, man, those are those like stories, man. Like that happens to everybody in every school. Like that's why that's why it's tough to get judges. That's why I kind of like some tournaments that do all black belts in the morning and underbelts in the afternoon. Now the only problem is will the black belt stay and judge? Some of them will, some of them won't. But I kind of like that sometimes.
I don't, man. I mean, because at this point in time, we're in 2023, man. At this point in time, I just feel like promoters need to have their judges in place before the event and pay judges, man. You could pay them $100.
They're trying to do better with that now. I will say that they're trying to do better with that now. The issue now is, from what I see, is now everyone wants to be picky about where they get put to judge. Everybody has a say. Everybody wants to be like, certain people want to be in the adult black belt fighting rings and they won't take nothing else but that. And it's like, yo, like I get it, like you want that, but like you gotta do what's best for the tournament. What's gonna make it run more efficiently? So all depends.
So my weekend was pretty cool. Also, we celebrated DJ's birthday. We were at Urban Air Adventures. That was a fun place, man. It was a fun place.
Urban Air, hell yeah.
I like those kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun. All the kids had a good time. Champ was there. His mom, she brought him. And yeah, man, it was pretty cool. No beef, no problems. No, no, no. Of course, never. No beefs.
I feel like you're smiling. You have some baby mama drama, huh?
I never do. Not at all, man.
He never does.
Never
He
does.
never does.
No. And you know, Melissa and Crystal, they get along.
No, man. Yo, whatever you're doing, throw that manual out there. Let us know. Throw that out there.
Well, Joe don't have nothing to worry about. I think it's just you. I think it's just you at this point, bro. Yeah. You know, but DJ's dad was there also, and there's no beef between me and him, you know, so it was all cool, man. So we had a good time. Just how they kind of run things was a little suspect to us, you know.
Them as a parenting group or
no. I'm talking about the place.
The place, yeah.
It was probably better if we just went ahead and just bought passes instead of getting that table and everything. And we pretty much got the table just so we could bring in some cupcakes for the kids. But other than that, man, they were ripping and running and playing the whole time, so we didn't really need to, spend the extra money for a table and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
So yeah, but other than that, we had just a chill weekend. Here at the house on Sunday, we pretty much just sat around and cleaned up and just got ready for our work week. That was pretty much it.
Cool.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right. So let's get into it. You ready, Joe?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I was surprised with this movie.
This was an interesting movie, honestly. What the heck? Where did Angel go?
Yeah.
I was like, where'd you go, bro?
Oh, go ahead. He got it. Angel's always up to something, Joe.
So I know, right? I didn't know much about this movie. I do like Michael Jai White a lot, so I was ready for that. And right out the gate, man, the martial arts that was in this movie was very intriguing to me. And I tried to look it up, like what it was, because I've never seen that style. I've never seen that style before.
Yeah, I haven't either.
And Jeff, I was gonna say it before he said something in the chat. I said, I wonder if Jeff knows about this because it just feels like something. Apparently, he just got his black belt in it. So it's called Defense Lab. It's called Defense Lab, and I guess it's a very defensive, and then using defensive techniques and throwing offensive off of the defense.
So like Miyagi though, it was like Miyagi though, huh?
This is way different because I've never seen that stance before.
No, I didn't either.
To be honest with you, I really like this movie.
No, but I'm saying just on the karate alone,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm really interested. I was just watching videos before this about the stance and the.
And I had never heard of this style before either. I've never heard.
I've never seen it. I've never heard of it. But I'm gonna deep dive into it. Do a deep dive into it because I was really interesting. And like I said to Jeff in the chat, that stance would take me a lot of getting used to. Having my hands on my face like that, and trying to throw defensive techniques looks okay, but then trying to throw an offensive technique from there just looks like it would take a lot of practice.
Yeah.
But then some of the videos that I was just watching, it's all meant for, like I said, you defend and then you counter when you get them in close. So it's kind of like almost like a Muay Thai because there's a lot of elbows. It's a lot of elbows. And then there's a lot of grabs and stuff. And then the only kick you ever saw him throw was a turning side kick.
Yeah,
I didn't see him. That's what I'm saying. But
he just loves throwing that kick. I know that personally because that's what we worked on in my school.
And he was launching people with that kick. What's his original style, though?
So what's Michael Jai White's?
Yeah.
So originally, his original style, honestly, is like the one he claims that he gets his highest rank, and the one that he makes his style is Kyokushin karate. Then off of that, he has a black belt in Taekwondo and Goju-Ryu. Then he has one in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then Shotokan.
I've seen the Goju-Ryu and the Taekwondo before.
Yeah, Tang Sudo and Shotokan, he has black belts in those. And crazy enough, for Shotokan, he actually trained with my instructor in the Bronx, New York. So he actually he has multiple black belts, but we talked about it when we were at my school that day that you guys I told you guys that he claims he makes his base style Kyokushin karate. That's his highest degree that he's tested through. Plus, that's the one that he has tested through like the most. So he's done like he's still doing like training camps and like almost like winter camps for that style. Um, so he does it in that way. But that's really his style. That's his base style. And then off of that, you'll see like Tai Chi and everything else. But when the defense lab, when he's doing it, it almost looks like it looks like it's an art based off of deflection. So it's all about just deflecting the technique, and then that opens up the opening for offense and the counters. And
Yeah.
it was interesting. You know where we saw this kind of like in? You guys remember when we watched Undisputed 3? The one where had the guy Turbo?
Yep.
And there was a point where like when he would fight, he put his hands in front of his face and he's blocking with his elbows. And he's like he's punching the knees. That was kind of like similar to it. So I guess we kind of got to see it like a pre-fight version back in the day. Now I'm gonna be honest with Jeff saying that this was what the type of fighting style they used in the Dark Knight. I did not recognize none of this in the Dark Knight. Did you guys?
No,
but I'm gonna go back and look.
Yeah, now I want to watch the Dark Knight.
He said the whole, but I think he said the Dark Knight series. So all of those movies.
That's what I'm still saying. Like I didn't notice none of that. Now that makes me want to say, can we watch Batman now? Because it's technically a martial arts movie.
You just throwing everything out. I mean, I guess eventually we're gonna have to start watching. We're gonna have to.
No, me and Travis talked about that. Not we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, that means Rocky.
So anyhow,
yes.
Just because this is a podcast. I just want everyone, if you get a chance, look up Defense Lab and the way that they use the technique, because it is very interesting. Like I said, to explain it, like he has his hands, it's to cover up his face, so he literally has his hands on his face and kind of reinforcing, and then everything is defense and creating offense from the defense, like a counter shot and everything. It's really interesting to watch. Anyhow, I've never seen it before, so it really caught my eye. So the movie starts off, we see some girl getting beat up. We don't really know anything about her. I mean, after watching the movie, I know who she is, but we didn't really know anything about her. The other thing I didn't catch until I had actually looked at, I thought they were calling him Brian. I guess his name is Bryant.
Yes.
Bryant. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't hear that at all, so that was kind of weird. But
hold on, Joe. Before you go any further, I gotta say this, Angel. I'm so sorry. Bro. But as I was watching this movie, I kept thinking you were the boy in the movie because of your connection with Michael Jai White, because of your connection. So the whole thing, I could not stop thinking like, this is Angel being trained by Michael Jai White. The whole movie, bro.
Listen. I'll tell you, it's crazy though. No, so let me tell you something. After like him coming to my school and us talking, and we were talking shop. I told you we started working techniques and just working just different little things. Like what he does in a movie, that's how he actually like trains.
I believe you.
And like the way he explains it, the way he says everything, that's how he trains. Like that's actually how he does it. So we were like, when I tell you like watching it, like almost in a way, like, I kind of like know the behind the scenes of who he is, and like that's actually how he is. Like he is gonna do that. Which crazy enough, we're supposed to be getting in one of his movies soon. So hopefully that shit goes through, so we can review that. And when my part comes up, I want like a whole entire curtain call. You know.
You're not going to even be on that episode of Fist Kicks and Flicks if you're in the movie with him, man. We can't have you on there. You know why? Because if Joe and I are killing this movie, it's going to be easier for us to kill it if you're not on the podcast with us.
I just want to tell you right now. Y'all better show some respect to this man because I'm trying to get him on. So you guys destroyed our last one. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
You can really destroy it.
Go ahead,
She
Joe.
destroyed it a little bit. All right, the movie starts out, like I said, we start off with this woman. She's getting beat up. We don't know much about her yet. And then we see Bryant is Michael Jai White's character, and he's practicing. He's running up a hill. He's practicing, and he's in. It looks like he's at the Mexican border, or actually in Mexico. And he's got like a little trailer on a piece of land, and it's real nice. And then he's got Angel in the background. He's got a boy in the background that's training with him. So I guess he's helping this kid out.
I don't think he was helping him at that point. I don't think they knew each other at the beginning of the movie.
Oscar was just watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Oscar was just watching from a distance and then learning.
I thought he was. He had already started helping him.
Uh,
So then, we meet Oscar, and he's going to class, and and it looks like Bryant is like a surveyor. Is that what they call those guys with that equipment and the vest and
I
everything?
don't know. You know what? I've seen those people just in Detroit. I've seen them around, and I always wanted to know what they were doing.
I think they
Um,
survey land and try to figure out like where the land starts and ends and all that.
okay.
That's my understanding, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
And then we see a car come up with what I'm assuming are some members of a gang. They look and talk like that, and they're after Oscar. We don't know why, but they are. And he runs away and hides and
That
gets
was
away from
weird.
them.
That whole thing was weird. Every time they showed up, because they explained that his brother is actually a captain in that gang. So why would you be shaking him down for money and chasing him all over the place? That didn't make sense because Oscar was not part of the gang.
And
So
I
that was
think
just
he would.
strange.
I think he was doing something to kind of mess with them.
Mm,
They didn't really explain any of that, and I thought the same thing because I was wondering what they were doing after him as well.
right.
And they do. I mean, literally, the next scene they show up at his house and put a gun on him, and
Yeah.
basically tell him like, I would smoke you if it wasn't for your brother, more or less.
Right. So
But
it's
they
like
they
what was
never
what the beef
do
was.
explain why, like what he did or why they're mad at him. So,
Yeah.
but I guess he's lucky his brother is who he is because
That would have been it for him.
pretty much no matter
Yeah.
what he did and all that. So the next scene we see Oscar and he's still kind of watching Bryant. I think. See, I didn't recognize this, but you're right. He's just watching him, trying to learn,
Yeah,
and
Mhm.
he's
then
just copying
he,
his movements.
yeah, and now he invites him down, and he's gonna actually like help him out.
Mhm. Well, yeah,
And
I think Brian actually he saw Oscar running from the game and he recognized him from before that he had seen him at his property. So after he saw him running from him, I guess he just assumed like, okay, this kid needs some help with some self defense. Let me show him some things.
I think he
That's
saw
what I
him
got out
helping
of it.
out. I think he saw him in town as well, helping out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But and when he was
Yeah,
in town, the gang was there also, and he was trying to avoid them, and
yeah.
he saw that.
So that's a good dude. So they don't really they do a little bit of a training montage to kind of skip ahead and see him
Mm-hmm.
progressing through his training because he's actually getting pretty good. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're doing all right. And again, this is this defense lab that I've never seen, and it's very interesting. It's something different that I've never seen before, and I thought I've seen just about everything.
Have
Now
you
this
guys ever
next
have you
this
guys ever
next
hit
thing
a
cracks me
tire
up.
before?
What'd you say?
No,
Have you guys ever hit a
have you
tire
ever hit?
before? Like punched,
No,
hit a tire, like used it as like
I
to
flipped a
conditioning?
tire. I've done the flipping
Mm-mm.
tire, but I've never hit it.
Yo, punching a tire and kicking them and all that, like that conditioning for your skin and your knuckles and your bones is totally different. It hurts like no end. It's crazy.
Mm.
So like the fact that he was doing that, and I know he was really doing that. That's just crazy to me.
Mm.
That's just crazy.
Okay.
So this next part, he has a boxing glove on the end of a stick, like,
Mm.
and he's punching at him, and when he gets hit and he's bleeding, he goes to wipe the blood, and Bryant tells him, "No, don't do that. It makes you look weak."
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean, both that training.
I've used that before. Well, I think either my uncle had that before or Ski one of, but I've
I was
worked
gonna
out with
say
that before.
it was your uncle. It was your
Okay. Okay.
uncle.
Yeah,
Oh
I've
yeah,
worked out with that before.
so it was interesting.
But
But
yeah,
what
but
do you think about?
that was pretty interesting. That statement saying "don't wipe the blood," makes you look
Yeah,
weak. I've never heard somebody say that before, but and
neither have I. That's kind of
I
amazing.
never thought of it either. But a lot of times, if somebody sees that they're bleeding, especially at a tournament, if a kid gets hit hard, he can keep fighting. But if he sees that he's bleeding now, here come the tears. You know,
Yeah.
for a lot of kids, So I
Now,
get that.
see, if I ever when at tournament when I would bleed, I would try to suck it up because I didn't want to get the other person disqualified. I want to get him back. That
That's
was always
good,
my thing.
but there are some kids
I
that
know I don't like
will
to win that way.
that makes themselves bleed. Like I hate that kicking some kid in the face. I've seen it plenty of times. A kid gets kicked in the face and they keep on pressing their nose and keep pushing it up, pushing it up. Next thing you know, then they're bleeding, and then next thing the other kid has to get disqualified.
Listen to this. I used to fight this kid all the time who had to wear his glasses, and I kicked him, and the glasses cut his nose.
Oh,
and I got disqualified. And he even told the judge that I didn't make him bleed, that the glasses, and the judge still disqualified me. It was that made me so mad. That's the only time that kid ever beat me.
You know, I'm thinking. I don't think I've ever been disqualified. I don't think I've ever been disqualified in a tournament.
Never.
Never.
I've been disqualified a couple times.
What kind of guy? What kind of guy were you? You were calm, huh?
I'm a clean fight. I'm a clean fighter, Angel.
What was that supposed to mean?
I'm a clean fighter.
Okay. You made sure to say that one. You made sure to say that. Okay.
Go ahead, Joe.
So Oscar's brother, he gets out of jail, and his name is Hector, and like I said, he's El Chapo of the gang. And he comes and grabs his brother from training, and he calls out basically and says that Brian's a cop. He says he looks like a cop, smells like a cop. Like, that was interesting. And he takes his brother away, and he's now why he knew his brother was there. He said that he was keeping tabs on him, so that means somebody's been following his brother every day, knowing where he's at.
Yeah, it's probably the gang. Yeah, it's probably them.
Yeah, but now does his brother tell him that they were harassing him? Because dang,
no, I don't think
get a butt whooping.
No, he pretty handled that himself. That's exactly why he did what he did in the next couple of scenes.
Yeah, that's true. So now Oscar's looking. Basically, Bryant doesn't want him to compete. Like, he's like, don't use what I told you if you're trying to go fight for real, because like this is only for self-defense. This is to take care of yourself in a real situation. So he's going to go and look at a gym to go train, but they need, he's underage, so he can't sign up without an adult. And, he's not happy about that, but he's going to try and figure it out. And then next we got his brother kind of celebrating, getting out of jail, and it's not really his scene. He doesn't want to be a part of it until they tell him that they're going to go to some underground fights and bet on the fights. Then he's down because he wants to fight. He wants to show like what he can do, what he's learning. He thinks that he's real good. So these fights, go ahead.
One thing that they didn't explain was if their parents were around.
No, I didn't see no parents.
It didn't seem like it, but at the same time, Oscar was like in high school still.
It's Mexico. That's Mexico. They're like parents, so they work 2 jobs overnight and during the day.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but it didn't seem like there were any parents at all. Like, even if the gang, like when the gang came to the house and had the guns on them and everything, like it just seemed like he was living by himself. So I don't know. And then about money, it seemed like it doesn't seem like that was the first time that Oscar had been. To me, it didn't seem like it was the first time going to underground fights. I think he might have already. They just didn't explain it. I think he might have already had been going there because he had money quick.
That's true. He had a job. He didn't. Yeah. He was gonna get ready to go to work at one point, but he didn't say where his job was.
Okay.
He had a job.
Okay, I missed that then. Okay.
Yeah. So they're at these fights, and this is the kind of fighting scene where, like, you got the fighter in the ring, and they try to get somebody in the crowd to take them out for some big money. So basically, if you last a minute, you get $5,000, $5,000, and if you beat them, you get $10,000. So who do you think goes in after? Oscar gets up and he goes in, and his brother. I'm surprised his brother didn't even try to stop him. He like looked at him crazy, but he didn't try to stop him at all.
No, I mean, I think he was in shock.
He really was.
Yeah, by the time Oscar was by the time it was setting in that your brother's getting into this cage, I think it was like too late.
It was
over because he was even more in shock because his brother beat the crap out of this dude.
Right.
He was in a boxing ring.
My bad, Angel.
Yeah. So he used the defense lab techniques that he learned from Bryant, and I mean, this guy didn't even stand a chance, and this was supposed to be like the baddest dude in the building. So I
Yeah,
mean,
because we had already saw him beat up some other people. So I really like the part when once he got out the ring, he went and took his money, and then he went over
from
to the gang member and snatched his money and said it was for gas because that's what happened to him earlier in the movie. I really like
yep,
that part.
that was funny. That was
Yeah.
great. Well, so here comes the problem in this movie. So that with that fighting style being, not super popular in that area and everything, there was a girl taping it and it went viral. And so we find out that Bryant was a former cop and he was basically in a witness protection program that he put himself in, more or less. That's why he was
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico. And so this video goes viral and gets to the wrong people, basically the people who have been looking for him for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
And so they basically send a hitman after him, and it's two twin brothers. So now he's in trouble. He's probably prepared for it just in case, but I don't think he expected it. Now he didn't know that this video was out there and that Oscar had used his fighting style in the ring. So I mean, this is all when it comes to fruition. Um, it's all going to be a big surprise to him.
Mm-hmm.
So we what's this guy's name? Sonny Kilbane is the mob boss, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what it kind of seemed like. Yeah.
So what Bryant does explain about this guy is he was the former police chief and he was running the mob as the police chief. So he had everybody in his pocket. So,
Judges.
yeah, I mean when you're the police chief, you already got a bunch of clout and now you got back into the mob. I mean, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No.
Like that would be nuts. I mean, that would you'd run the city, man.
When we first see Kilbane, he was like in the steam room.
He didn't look like he was in jail.
It
He
did
didn't
not
look
look
like
like
he
he
was
was
in
in
jail at
jail.
all.
No,
Nope.
no. And he's talking
I
with
mean,
his friends.
he's talking with his friends, and he's got look like a pro getting ready
Mm-hmm.
to go a few rounds with them
Mm-hmm.
before he gets this. His lawyer is here, and I say lawyer in quotation marks because I don't think that guy was no lawyer
Yeah, he
or a
was.
mob
Yeah,
lawyer
yeah,
for
he was
at
something.
best.
Yeah, yeah.
So he shows them the video. So they basically, like I said, they put these twin hitmen, and the hitmen. Oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Oscar shows up to
Jim.
hang out with Oh, did I miss that part?
Yeah, he goes to that gym and he's trying to sign up at the gym, and this time he brings his brother with him because the first time he tried, they wouldn't
Well,
allow him to sign up.
but before that, he went and saw Bryant, and his brother showed up, and his brother showed up.
Oh yeah.
His brother showed up causing trouble.
Right.
But
Well, he
Bryant,
didn't go there to start trouble. He wanted Bryant to continue to train his brother, and he was going to
oh
pay for it.
yeah.
That's what it was, and Bryant knew that they were gang members, and he didn't want to have anything to do with them. He didn't want to draw any attention to himself, and that was another reason why he didn't want to train them. Period, for competition, because he said it was for competition.
Of course not. But Bryant showed Hector like he don't play. Because Hector showed him the piece, and Bryant said, "Oh, you want me to back up away from you?" And he got his own piece out, and he basically said, "Get off my lawn, get out of here." Oscar, both of y'all go, and then that's when basically they decide, okay, that guy's a punk. We don't want him to train you. Let's go train at the gym. And so when they're at the gym for the training, this is when the two guys, the two brothers, show up. And they're hitmen. And the funny thing about that is they're trying to play it off like they have their own gym in America, and the owner of this gym basically calls them out. But then Hector figures out right away that they're hitmen. Like he just smelled it on them or something.
Mm-hmm.
He don't say it until they leave, but he figured it out. Now the thing that drove me that kind of shocked me here was they're not interested in these guys at all. They're not interested in nothing here. They're just looking for Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, Oscar is going to protect Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm shocked that Hector didn't throw him under the bus because Hector
I'm not,
already got beef with him and don't like him. And then why not? That kind of shocked me.
because that's like snitching. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're right.
So yeah, so
you wouldn't survive, man. You wouldn't survive.
No, I'm just saying. I would think if you got a dude you got a problem with, and now he's disrespected you, that why wouldn't you just throw him to the wolves? But you're right. That is wrong. That is wrong. So I get it. Yeah, that's honor amongst thieves, I guess you could say.
yeah.
Yeah, but they still mess up because the gym owner basically says, I don't want no problems. Is it going to be like this? And they said no. But then Oscar, of course, he wants to warn Bryant. Now you got Oscar, you got his brother and gang, and then he brings Hector says bring the girl that's helping with the gym. The gym
That was
owner's
smart.
daughter.
That was smart.
Yeah, I guess as a soft kind of landing place to help bring the message. But nobody out of all these people figured out that these guys could just wait and follow you to go see Bryant.
Yeah, that was silly. That was pretty stupid. That I was thinking the
That's
same
what I'm
thing.
saying.
Yeah, that was
Like,
pretty stupid.
Hector of all people should have at least been like, he figured out they were hitmen. You can't tell me he doesn't think, oh, they'll just wait and follow us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's exactly what happens. So you got these two professional hitmen, and the second that Oscar tells Bryant that the hitmen are after him, he tells everybody, get in the house.
Yeah.
Get in the house. He knows exactly what's coming. And the kids get in the house. Two of Hector's guys that he brought with him, they didn't make it. They
didn't have a chance. They didn't see it coming or nothing. They were just done.
And even Hector at first was resilient until his two boys got shot. And I think they were getting ready to come after Bryant. But
I wonder what happened to the other guy. That's what I was wondering watching the whole movie. The original guy that was chasing Oscar down, one of Hector's guys.
Yeah, they didn't show him again later, did they?
No, after Oscar took the money from him, we didn't see him anymore.
Maybe he was a little butthurt, so he had to cool off a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Now I'm gonna say for such a badass gangster, Hector ran in that house and he hit the deck in a minute.
Hector to me did not seem like he was a real gangster, even though I know he was, but he didn't seem like it seemed like he was putting on a front, like he was really a tough guy.
Yeah, he got sweet at the end for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, maybe just one of those things where like he just kind of fell into it and then he just got really good at it, but it doesn't necessarily mean he wanted to do that all his life. Especially because, he was good to his brother.
Yeah.
And he had younger siblings that seemed like her cousins, whatever they were. They didn't really explain that, but Oscar was taking care of a couple other younger kids.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about those. Yep.
So Bryant, right away, he explains two things. He explains that he was a former cop and that these guys are after him because of the people that he put away. So, like, he knows exactly what's going on. Number two, basically, this little trailer he's in is completely reinforced. Mm-hmm. So, like, they can't get in. They can't get in. They can't shoot it up. All this stuff. And so he even has another way out. So he goes into another room and tells Hector at this time, go to the window. He's outside in 2 seconds with a crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets the distraction, takes out the guy with the big gun. Then he shows up and with the other guy, and they fight each other, pretty good. He kind of knocks him out a little bit, and he's trying to find out who sent him. Now, obviously, you know who it was because exactly who you pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know why you're trying to figure this out, but the guy won't give it up. So he ends up covering him in gas. And then basically lights him on fire because he won't tell him what's going on.
Yeah.
But and then here's where he throws that kick. He kicked my man right. He might have hurt his back pretty good kicking him into that car like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was the way he fell and the way he was rolling around. You could tell he was hurt. I was like, goodness, just from that a side kick, but okay.
Bro, listen, he kicks hard, bro. He probably broke.
Oh no. So yeah, he basically takes these two brothers out, no problem. And
I like how he took the one brother out with the crossbow.
So did I.
And then the other brother shows up and is looking at him and he's wondering, like, wait a minute, how come my brother hasn't shot you yet? You know, and he lets them know, like, no, he won't be shooting. He won't be shooting me.
So he kind of they had no idea how he got out of the house, and he basically shows them there's a whole underground system under the house that he discovered when he was in the DEA, and that's why he chose this house basically to build. I mean, the land to build his trailer on, and all that stuff, so he could kind of have an escape plan. And it looks like I don't know how far this whole underground system goes, because I mean he goes under and he's got a whole lab down there. He sends them off somewhere where it's going to come up in another area. So I mean it's a pretty intricate system that's underground.
It looked like he almost had a bat cave in there also when he had all the monitors and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Cameras everywhere.
And where does he get all that money? I mean, there ain't no LAPD making that kind of money. Yeah, maybe he stole some money from the bust or something. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I have no idea, man. But then, I mean, he started working also, so it seemed like he had a very humble life down there. He didn't need much of anything.
True. He was trying to until all this fell at his doorstep. So the police, again in quotation marks, shows up at this crime scene, which by the way is completely cleaned up. Like he took care of the bodies. Like there's nothing, no cars, no nothing. And that's where we, like you said, we kind of see his little bat cave. And so he's watching all this police action and they're banging down his door. And there must have been at least 10 people out there with full gear on and everything. He opens the door up and shoots the first two people. Now, you have no idea if these are real cops or not. And he shoots them, closes the door and says, yeah, cops my ass.
Right.
It's like, what if that was real cops, man?
Well, you knew they weren't. He was watching them.
I know, but come on. Watching them what?
He was watching them.
It was funny. But anyhow, he takes everybody out. And again, cleans it all up like nothing ever happened. So let's see who shows up in this one. So the next day we see Kilbane, and he's talking with his lawyer again, and he's trying to figure out what happened because they took out like 15 of his guys. Well, 15 of somebody else's guys because he's hiring another crew to take him out.
Yeah, now this is where stuff starts. This made me think there could be a part 2 to this movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Now he's pissed off another group.
Yeah,
you bring in a group to help you out because you're a big dog on campus, and then you start taking out my people. Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed too. Now this part made me laugh too because Hector, he's trying to figure out who he's dealing with. And he comes up with the nickname Rambro for Brian. I don't know. It shouldn't have made me laugh so hard, but it made me laugh a little bit. The funny thing is, he says it a couple of times to Brian, and Brian don't like it.
No. Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes when somebody give you a stupid little nickname or a joke or something that where you gotta shut it down real quick and let people know, like, nah, that's not gonna fly. So.
That's not going to work?
Nah, not that one.
Rambro wasn't bad. There's worse he could have called him, especially being a cop. So this next scene, Hector is now, some people roll up on him. And I'm assuming it's the part of this. Did they say what this crew? I don't remember them giving a name to this other gang that's kind of helping out Kilbane. Did you catch any of that, Angel?
I did.
No.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't really.
It seemed like it seemed like the Mexican mafia. That's what it seemed like to me.
Is it? Yeah,
okay. I mean, That would make sense to me. So they roll up on Hector and they're trying to get some information. And again, man, I'm telling you, like Hector, he stays close-lipped, man. Like he's not going to give up this dude even if you don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Now the crazy thing is, yeah, no, you're right, 100%. Like you're not wrong. Now the funny thing is, Bryant shows up. He shows up and he helps Hector out, and Hector's shocked by it. He is really actually like, what? Like, how did you even know where I was, and what were you doing? Like
Hector has seen Bryant do some amazing things at this point in time, so you know he don't want to get on Bryant's bad side anymore.
No, you're not wrong there, and I wouldn't blame him either because I would.
Yeah, at this point, he knows he can't do nothing to him.
Yeah, he's seen him do too much. He's seen him do too much at this point.
The crazy thing here is this dude has a gun to Hector's head, and Bryant don't flinch. He shoots my man dead to rights, and then he's chased by like 6 guys with machetes. Now this part cracks me up because I'm like, okay, first off, 6 guys. Yes, because you're like, oh, well, how's he going to deal with 6 guys? I thought he was going to run a little bit, stop, and take them all out. He runs up a hill, and they practically die on this hill. He barely had to do anything. The first guy runs at him. He just knocks him down. The next one, he has the machete. Once he got the one machete, it was over. He just started slicing and dicing people with that same stance he was using before.
That's not a bad idea. That's crazy, though. Would you ever do that? Would you ever run from a fight just to get your opponents tired and then go back and beat them up?
If I was a good runner, I'd be the one dying on that hill.
Y'all gotta stop.
I'm just saying. Even in my heyday, man, running wasn't my thing. And then running up a hill, woo. When we used to do at the karate camp, when we used to do those wind sprints up the hill, 10 of those and I was done.
You never had to run around the neighborhood at the school? Sometimes my uncle say put on your shoes and go run around the neighborhood.
All that.
You did that? Yeah, okay.
I could do it back in the
day. We had a student one time, man. We used to send the kids out to go run, do a couple of laps. This kid went to Coney Island and was eating chili cheese fries. My uncle was so pissed.
Who was that? Was
it Willie?
No, it wasn't Willie.
That's how that's what you would do.
No,
was it burger?
No. It was.
Was it Anton?
It wasn't burger. It wasn't burger. No, it was one of these other kids that did stick around.
It would be perfect if it was burger.
Yeah, if it was burger, we would still talk about him. If it was burger, we'd still be talking about him now, man.
Oh, that was my boy. I love burger. So, again, when he comes back, Hector's shocked. Hector's like, "Oh, okay, like this dude really," and that's when he does call him Rambro, and he's like, "Don't call me that."
Right.
And we finally see. So he had a car earlier that was under something, that was covered up, and it was a nice, like a 68 Camaro or something that was really nice. And Hector was impressed by that too. Now, Oscar and that chick, what was her name?
I don't even remember her name. I didn't even think to remember her name.
Misaka.
Yes, there you go.
Misaka. What the?
I don't know. Marisol, Misaka, whatever. Anyhow, yeah, what is? How do you Marisol? Marisol.
Yeah, I can't say it with the
Marisol.
Yeah, I can't say it like Angel.
I gotta hear it and then I can do it usually. Anyhow, they show up at the trailer, and a whole new group shows up of quotations police, and one of them cracks the same stance as Oscar and Bryant. Now they get to fighting, and in the stance, and then the guy pulls off his mask and basically says, that Bryant was his trainer, da 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 da. He gives them a whole line, but then he won't let them go. He's telling them they got to come with him and they got to figure this out. So Oscar, he figures out real quick that this dude is not a friend like he says he is.
Yeah. I thought that guy was going to have a bigger role in the movie. He didn't really have much of a role at all.
He really didn't. Now, but he obviously had to be a friend at the time, at one point, to learn that style, unless they learned that style together.
No. Oh, I think he was right. He was a student of Bryant's. But Bryant, I think Bryant didn't Bryant say like I think he knew that he went bad
That
or
was his protege, and he tried to get him killed.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely knew. So basically, they're both of them are in the car together, and Oscar's trying to figure out how to get out of the situation. Now he gets on his phone, and he's talking in the back with nobody noticing. He's trying to whisper, and he's talking to his brother, and he's trying to give him direction to where he is and where he's going and who he's with. When Bryant hears the name of the guy, he tells him, "Yeah, that dude's bad news. Like, do your best to get away from him." He's trying to figure out, and then the guy figures out he's on the phone, and so he tells him, "Oh, I'm just talking to my brother," and everything like that.
That was stupid.
I agree.
Why didn't he just text him the whole
I said the same
time?
thing.
The whole
That
time
made no sense to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been a little easier to get away with than
Right.
trying to whisper. Like, I'm sorry, even if you're whispering on the phone and I'm in a car with you, I know you're talking.
Exactly.
So I was thinking the same thing. But he does text him a code or say a code, trying to figure out, and I guess it was a mile marker,
Yeah,
or something like that. That he was getting to him to what
it was
they
with
had
the
passed. So he
electrical.
must have seen it.
It was like for the electrical box. If you knew where the electrical box
Okay.
was, it was like the mile marker was the
Mm.
name of the electrical box, and then from the electrical box, he knew that like whatever was, he must have been to that area before and knew what was in that area, knew exactly where it was taking them.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was an address. Honestly, but
I knew.
that was good.
Yeah, electrical box makes a lot of sense. So when they show up, so they stop, and Bryant's basically telling Hector like what he knows where they're going. He's gonna go there and obviously help out and figure this all out, but he's gonna need more people. Like, he's gonna need Hector's crew. So because he knows where they're going is like it's going down. It's gonna get bad. So it's kind of funny, a former cop working with a whole gang, but I mean, like, Hector's seeing what he can do. So I mean, yeah, I'd want that dude on my side too.
Right.
So now they show up, and they're at this other, I get, like you said, Mexican mafia's base of operations, I guess you could say. And the main guy is there, and he's not happy. He's losing a lot of guys. This situation's not going his way right now, and he's not happy with some of the people
Yeah, he
that
was
have
pissed. He
basically
was pissed.
caused this to happen. Like, he's telling them, and he's letting them know too. I mean, like, he's like, this, you got to fix this, because if this doesn't start going better, like, everyone's gonna be on the hook for it, because I'm done with it. And he's gonna show that later, because he's again. I mean, these gotta be some of the dumbest criminals, because they tell Oscar to get a hold of his brother, and the brother's like, "Well, I don't know his number because they threw his phone out."
That was smart.
Okay. It was very smart. So they get him a phone. They get him the phone number. I guess one of the guys had the records or something like that of it. Who knows how they really figured that out? And right away, he texts them a bunch of numbers. And again, he's kind of telling them where they are. But the guy tells him, like, what are all these numbers? He tells, it's a code. My brother knows how to unlock.
He knows it's me. I know it. He knows it's me.
But I mean, the second he says that code, and then he calls them, Bryant tells him, don't pick up the phone. So he doesn't even pick up the phone to talk to these people. So that was, I mean, that right there. And the guy did figure it out. His buddy figured it out, but he figured it out too late. Because he was saying, like, something is wrong, something's not right. But by the time he starts saying that and figuring that out, and it starts going through his head, like, they're already at his doorstep shooting the place up. So this is going to be like our last battle scene, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, all of Hector's people roll up on these guys at this house. They start shooting the place up. Bryant and Hector, they're making their way inside, trying to mess everybody up. And then
That was one part that actually was missing from this movie. Is this part here, the finale? Like there was no big bad that Bryant
It
needed
was
to
just kind
fight.
of subtle.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. And his name, and
I
then
agree.
we also find out earlier in the movie, his name is not Brian. Also,
No.
his name is wait, I'm sorry, or maybe it really was Brian, but I
No,
think
his name was Brian. They called him Mr. Davis.
yeah, Mr. Davis. His
Yeah.
name was something else, Davis. Is what they thought at first, and then they find out that his name is really Brian.
Yeah. And this part was a little funny too. So the first time we really see Hector shoot at anybody, he misses.
Yeah, and that was funny. You're supposed to be a gangster, and of course he turns his hand to the side and shoots and misses.
So the head mafia guy, he's talking to the quote unquote buddy of Bryant, and he says, "Well, I guess the two kids are dead weight now, so we can smoke them." And he says, "No, he's going to traffic them, both of them." So he's like, "They're worth a lot of money because he's going to traffic both of them." Now he looks at my man. He says, "Well, you're dead weight," and he shoots him dead.
Yeah, his lawyer.
Yeah, the lawyer. So he's done with him. So that's like you said. I mean, there is no big fight because they're kind of taking each other out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even Oscar takes a couple of people out, and then his girl, she takes some people out too. So I mean, there isn't really any
like even his protege. You would have thought Brian and his protege would have had a final fight scene with each other, but that didn't happen. Not at all.
Now there wasn't a whole lot of fighting in this last part. It was more just a lot of gunfire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everything
Because then
that.
for some reason, so the protege ends up getting shot. And he's laying on the ground. Brian didn't come in to finish him off.
He's not about that. If you're done,
Yeah.
like he just lets you be.
Yeah, but I think he knew he was going to jail or something. Because didn't he say like, "Don't leave me here like this" or something? Did he say something to that effect?
Said you can't leave me here like this.
Yeah.
But he's like, why not?
Yeah.
And then Hector, he's got a bigger gun, and he takes out the head mafia dude. Talking about, you ever seen Scarface? He busts the cap in his ass.
Yeah.
He falls off into the water. Hector's he's too much.
Yeah, yeah.
So everyone's safe and sound, and then a car rolls up. Everyone's getting looked at by the police and the ambulance and everything. They're all giving their statements, and then the car shows up in slow motion, and who comes out? But was that his wife or his girlfriend? They never really did say, did they?
I think it was his fiance. It was his wife? Okay, yeah. I thought it was his fiance.
Because the original story, so at the beginning when she was getting beat up, he explained that because they couldn't get to him, they go after the ones you love.
And that's so they were wife in real life.
Sorry. Oh, really?
Yeah. That's
okay.
Real life.
No, that's cool. I'm that's good to know. So, she shows up, and the original story that he had given before he left was, she was getting, they were going to kill her slowly, and he showed up and saved her.
Mm-hmm.
But then instead of telling the cops what had happened, he told them that it was a domestic dispute between her and him to keep her safe. And then that's when he went underground.
Right.
So he hasn't seen her however long he's been gone.
Yeah, they never really explained that part either. Like how long he's been missing, how long he left.
And then the very end of the movie, we see Sonny Kilbane and his quote unquote his cops show up, and they're going to talk to him at the jail. But the problem is everybody takes their masks off, and it's Bryant and Hector and some of Hector's guys, and they don't show us what happens next. But I'm sure it wasn't great.
Yeah,
at least not for Kilbane.
Yeah, that was it for Kilbane. He's done. So, and I assume like, okay, well, you're going up against these mafia guys, and it seems like these guys are gonna want some revenge.
Oh yeah.
So like, like what's his next step to go to Canada this time? Go to Alaska? You're gonna be safe there, because he's gonna have people looking for him, and not only him, Hector and Oscar, Marisol,
I mean,
everybody.
At this point, maybe they're not going to run. Maybe they're going to take it head on.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'll start with.
Did we even say the name? Did we say the name of this movie?
As Good as Dead.
Okay,
As Good as Dead. There you go.
This was a newer movie. The director kind of came to us with a list of newer movies, thinking, more people might want to see something a little newer. We've kind of going back in the 90s and 2000s and even, some of the 80s. So yeah, it was good to do a newer movie. I've always liked Michael Jai White. And on top of that, this movie gave me a style I've never seen before. The movie wasn't, nothing crazy special, but it wasn't bad by any means necessary. Like, I'll give this movie a B plus easy. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. I'd watch it again. So I definitely like this movie.
Go on to Angel.
Yeah, same thing.
Angel's gonna give it an A plus.
No, B plus.
I really.
Okay.
I thought he was gonna give it an A plus also.
No,
and
I will say I definitely did like the movie. There was little things that I definitely not say that I didn't like, but it's just you get used to like a certain type of stuff like in the movie, like blood, right? Like if you notice, it was never blood; it was just red paint that would ever come out of people.
I saw the same thing.
What I mean? But and those are that's me nitpicking, and that's just like what we're accustomed to with certain movies. But actually, the plot and the story was better than some of the other movies that had a higher budget. So I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that if this was a bigger budget movie, if it was exactly the same, small little things would have been done better. But I like the movie also. I also give it a B plus. So
yeah, I agree.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Okay, what's next? What we doing next? Off of the list that Travis sent, we have Kung Fu Ghost, Liger. I'm not going to say these cartoon movies. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and New Kung Fu Cult Master 1.
Kung Fu Ghost sounds interesting.
Is that an anime?
No, it's a regular movie.
Okay, that sounds like we're gonna watch something supernatural again.
Probably so. So in between that and Liger, we're gonna end up watching both of these movies. So I guess it doesn't matter when we watch them. So we're gonna go with Kung Fu Ghost next.
Sure, why not?
All right. I hope it's enjoyable.
Me too.
All right, you guys got any final remarks?
Although Everything All at Once, I like the a couple of the actors. They both look interesting though. Yeah, let's just check it out. What's the worst that could happen?
So Kung Fu Ghost.
No, I'm good, man.
Anything, Angel?
No. Make sure everybody starts paying attention to what we got going on with Martial Arts Network. We got some new innovative things that are coming, so stay tuned for that.
All right, everybody. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week. Director, play our music. And here we go with this again.
He did say he was cooking. We have to text him.
He did say that, but I thought that he would still be listening and would be around or know that we would be.
Our director's cooking. He said, "I'm good, man. Y'all got this."
You texted him? You good?
Yeah, I'm texting him. When is he gonna edit this part out? Did the other part get edited out? The other video?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
It was pretty funny.
All right, let's try this again. Everybody, stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week. Director, play our music. Oh,
0 for 2.
That's right. And I can't
That's a wing and a miss.
I don't have. You know what? I'm gonna do it. We out.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught. to more young men.